Hello there, and it's a late night one. Hello again. Welcome to the Bearded Peacock, everybody. It's nearly 12:30 in the nighttime. Leeds are kicking off their first pre-season game of the new season. Obviously, the lads, and we're getting on at this time because the lads are in America. We're obviously used to doing a little American watch along, aren't we? Over the last few weeks, did a few for the World Cup. And Leeds, obviously, in America now, are playing Wrexham of the Championship. Of course, they're there probably because of Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Of course, they've done a few tours of America over the last few years, I think. So since they came about anyway, the pair of them. So Wrexham are no strangers nowadays to an American tour. Leeds did one a few years ago, I think, and is it a 2-week tour? This is, like I said, the first game for Leeds of this tour. They've got a further 2 games with Premier League opposition, obviously, in Sunderland. I think that's on Friday, isn't it? And then I think the Liverpool game is on the 2 weeks today. Is it the following Saturday, second? Sorry, no, that's wrong. I can't remember. Next week, isn't it? Next week, I think it's the Sunday. Is it? Let me just see. I think it's on Sunday, isn't it? The 2nd of. I think it's Sunday the 2nd, isn't it, of August? The Liverpool game. Let's see. Yeah, so it's Friday then Sunday. Bit of a strange one, I suppose. Fark will jiggle the team around because we're playing Friday, and then it's Sunday. The 2nd is the Liverpool game in Chicago. So yeah, I imagine he'll probably split the team for that. But I don't know. I mean, the lineup's poor for this game. Wrexham have gone pretty strong as he thought they would do. They beat Man United last Saturday in a pre-season friendly in Finland. Bit of a random place to play it, but yeah, that was it. So Leeds line up with Alex Cairns in goal, Justin Rodon Cresswell, Alfie Cresswell, of course, Charlie's brother, 19 years of age, just turned 19 last week. And Jaden Linau of the under-21s, of course, as well. Saw him on the bench. I think definitely at Spurs at the end of last season. I think he got on the bench on the final day defeat against West Ham as well. We've got Ampadu and Longstaff in the middle. We've got Dan James and Willie Nonto occupying the wing positions. And we've got Callum Mills, a 17-year-old I have no knowledge of at all. And then Yo Perot up top. So looking like he's going with a back four. We know that this is a thing that Daniel Fark's looking to go back to. I mean, it has it on here as a 4-2-3-1, which I don't know if I'd mind too much, if they did go to this, actually. I don't know whether I'd even mind this, to be honest. If we were to go into the season, obviously we did so well in the back 3 last year, but I think, to me, we're going a little bit more out attack with the wing options, and I don't expect either Dan James or Willie Nonto to go. There's been less and less reports of them going. Obviously, Dan won't, but Willie might, but I don't think he will. Obviously, the Welsh side, obviously Wrexham have gone quite strong. They've gone with Arthur Okonwu, who played the majority of the championship campaign last season. They've gone with Lewis Brunt, a back 3, Dominic Heim, and Zach Viner in the back 3. There are 3-4-2-1. So there's George Thomason. There's Matthew James. There's Lewis O'Brien. there's Aaron James, then there's Nathan Broadhead, Bailey Cadimatri, and up top is Kiefer Moore. So Wrexham obviously did quite well. Obviously, the rise up has been impressive, obviously. 1, 2, 3 promotions in a row. They finished in 7th position, just missing out on the playoffs in the end in the Championship last season with 71 points, which was very impressive, obviously. 2 points behind Hull City, who obviously eventually got promoted. Like I said, they did beat Manchester United in a friendly 1-0 last Saturday in Finland. So let's wait and see what they bring. They'll be up for it, obviously. It's our first game of the pre-season. They obviously start their campaign a little bit earlier than we do. They play Liverpool and Sunderland as well. Liverpool on Thursday and then Sunderland on Sunday. They kick off their campaign on Friday the 7th of August with a Carabao Cup game against Middlesbrough. So yeah, so that's that. And I'm just going to turn the sound off here. There we go. Certainly coming on momentarily, of course. So yeah, there's one person watching. Good morning to you, whoever you are. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to. Like I was saying, Wrexham kick off their campaign with a EFL, the Carabao Cup game away at Middlesbrough, and then they start the game. And it's a Welsh derby game with Cardiff on Monday the 17th of August. So yeah, wow, what a game to kick off their campaign with newly promoted Cardiff City, of course. So yeah, exciting times for Wrexham. They'll be, probably wanting and maybe even expecting now with the expansion of the playoffs in the Championship for this coming season, maybe expecting to get into the playoffs this time round, with obviously only missing out by a couple of points last year. Obviously, the expansion, we all know what happens with with Wrexham now. It's no surprise. This really, with the might of the Hollywood money, it's getting a bit boring for me, to be honest. And the team, I don't know personally how they're doing so well, because the team looks a bit dry to me, but I suppose it's just upward trajectory, isn't it? Momentum and all that kind of stuff. So we are 3 minutes away from kickoff here. The stream has not yet started, but you're hoping that it will at some stage. Obviously, 3 minutes to go to kick off. I have no idea what Leeds United are wearing today in terms of kit. We've not brought out a home kit yet. I don't know what the hold up with a new home kit is. Last season we'd have already released it 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks even ago. I think it was early July last season. So for whatever reason, they've not brought out a new home kit. Obviously, we've seen the away kit, which is a very lovely. I think they are playing in the away kit. Maybe Leeds. There's barely anybody there, to be quite honest. It's just started here now. The stream has just come on. Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. They've got a pirate ship in the stadium, which looks quite fun, doesn't it? Obviously, home of the Buccaneers. The American football team. I don't think. Well, no, I'm pretty sure this stadium wasn't used for any World Cup games. But then again, I have no idea. To be quite honest, I lost track of the World Cup a bit. The venues anyway. Obviously, we know that Spain won it in the end, but it's very sparse. Is that stadium? But the look of it looks massive though. So at the moment you can only see a little bit of it. And yeah, we await the lads coming out. Like I said, I'm intrigued to see what they're going to be wearing today. The yellow kit looks nice. I think they will wear the yellow. By the look of it, Wrexham are wearing black, their new black away kit. So yeah, by the look of that, I think Wrexham might win this. Leeds team looks poor. Wrexham will be bang up for it. They start the season a little bit before we do, and they'll be a little bit more far along with the kind of with their program in terms of getting ready for it. There's a few Leeds fans there. Again, we love Fark sort of banner. There doesn't look many people there. I mean, whether they're American Leeds fans, I expect they probably are. They do look quite like it, possibly. Obviously, if you're living in Tampa, that's great. Great opportunity to see the team. See some more people with Leeds banners. Yeah, Tampa Leeds United supporter club maybe there. So I mean, there's probably maybe a fair few Leeds fans, but I can't imagine there's many Leeds fans actually coming from England to go and watch these. But I don't know. I don't know. Leeds are all over the place, aren't they? Really. There'll be a lot of Wrexham supporters in America now with the Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney involvement, I'm sure. Which is, like I said, diluted a lot of stuff. Really, I'll be honest. I really don't like Wrexham, to be quite fair. It's man-made. If they'd have got all the way up there through, and they've worked hard to get there. Sure, of course, it's not just given, but I feel like it's equivalent to Man City on a very, very small scale, obviously. Equivalent to Man City in the fact that they've just been given a load of money out of nothing. And, they've gone and won and things and been promoted. And I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for their money and the feel-good factor and everything that they brought into the team, then I fully expect Wrexham would probably still be in, I don't know, maybe League Two, well, maybe even the conference still, so I'm pretty sure that they won't be anywhere near where they are if it wasn't for, that injection of money, and it's just a little bit late. This game's starting. There's still seeing shots of the crowd, mainly Leeds fans. I'm sure there's a lot more Leeds fans than Wrexham fans, although they are dotted in and around. We're just seeing a few Wrexham fans there dotted in and around. I don't think there's any segregation by the look of it. There's plenty of Leeds shirts and of all different seasons. We've seen the blue one from last year, the yellow, the white one from the championship winning campaign. The refs just coming out now. All of them, all in green. The linesmen as well, and yeah, we're wearing the yellow, brand new yellow away kit. And like I said, Wrexham in the black with red trim. So it's an opportunity for these young lads. Some of them, like I said, I have no idea who some of these boys are. I'll be completely honest. And Joe Perreault looks, I'm not sure about that hairdo, to be fair. But, it's his choice. Alex Cairns is absolutely rubbish. So we'll see how how he does. Again, he's just there for the vibe, isn't he? Really, him. He will never play a Premier League game, but he's just there for a laugh, and he's getting paid basically. But it's the first time he stepped on the pitch probably for Leeds United since that game at Ellen Road against Blackpool. So probably is, isn't it? That infamous Paul Rubka, absolute, explosion, just absolutely collapsed, didn't he? So that evening, Paul Rubka, Cairns came on for the second half, didn't he, and let in, I think, 2 goals. I think we were 3-0 down at half time or something like that, and we ended up losing. I think it was 5-0, wasn't it? John Joe Shelby got a hat trick. Alex Cairns, like I said, he came on for the second half. And we see Phil Parkinson and Daniel Farke having a chat. Again, I'm really not sure how Phil Parkinson has carried them so far. To be honest, he's a poor manager, but that's just the way it is. Again, it's the complete upward trajectory of the team that has, just got them so far. But so yeah, like I said, some of these boys, I just have no idea who they are. Particularly the ginger lad up top, or number 10 Mills, I think he is. No idea who this lad is at all. Like I said, Lina, we seen, we saw on the bench. But yeah, Wrexham have gone pretty strong. I think they will win this, Wrexham. Simply, like I said, because they'll be up for it. They've already beaten Man United in the pre-season, and pre-season friendly. It just doesn't matter at all. I sometimes I still don't really. I wonder why they play. Why are they playing them sometimes still? But that's what they do, and obviously, why do we have to go all the way to Florida to play Wrexham? It just doesn't. It doesn't really make much sense. But obviously, it's a money making exercise. So there you go. There it is again. Cairns, Lionel, Rodon, Justin, Longstaff, Ampadu, Cresswell, Monto, James, Mills, and Perot. The bench is missing a couple of lads. I think notably DCL, who's apparently had a little bit of a struggle with a slight injury. Obviously, he's in America with the lads. It's put down as a 3-5-2. I don't think it is a 3-5-2. I think it was more of a 4-2-3-1. Like I said, but we'll see how they line up. I don't think I've ever watched Leeds United at this time of night ever. So, and I'm feeling quite tired. But it's Leeds United, isn't it? You just feel like, yeah, it's Leeds, isn't it? You want to watch. But I've no idea how this will end up towards the top end of the pitch. Obviously, we've got a few more first team regulars, although even Perot, I won't call him a first team regular. Nowadays, it's nearly 10 minutes late kicking off. It has finally kicked off. So here we go. We're underway finally. Yeah, let's see how this one goes. Let's see how long my tiredness or the game, steps up. Will it be a decent match? Wrexham are on the go already here. We're only 30 seconds into the game. Kiefer Moore's got a chance. He scored. He scored 1-0 already. Wow. There you go. Really, really poor that. Incredibly poor. And inside a minute, Wrexham are 1-0 up. It's Kiefer Moore with the goal. I don't even think Leeds have touched the. I don't think Leeds have touched the ball yet, and we're already 1-0 down. Incredibly poor. I don't know where the heck the defence was, but it's a shot, and it beats the goalkeeper. Like I said, Alex Cairns is absolutely rubbish, and the shots beat him, and it's incredibly poor. And like I said, we barely touched the ball. I don't think we have touched the ball, and it's already 1-0. So yeah, really poor, that incredibly poor, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it, Tom. That was absolutely rubbish, and yeah, I'm not. If it goes like that, then I'm not. I'm not going to stay up and watch this. To be quite honest, I spelled that carefully with a Y. Yeah. I don't know, mate. I mean, I've got it on mute because obviously I'm talking through it, but that was incredibly poor. First 30 seconds of a pre-season thing, they've gone all the way to America to play like that, and first minute in is ridiculous, to be quite honest. I don't understand what kind of defending that was. I don't know who was coming down the right hand side, but just yeah. And I know this isn't the team that we're gonna be anywhere near playing with. Americans are funny when they commentate on football. They surely are, mate. Yeah, obviously not a good start at all. And I just think that I don't know what they're. Again, what's the point in them going all the way to Florida, to America, to play like this, to play a team that you could have travelled, just to Wales to go and watch. And I don't understand it. Like I said, I really don't like Wrexham, to be honest, and I think there's some kind of given right that the for some reason that they get to play in these higher echelons of the football pyramid, just because they've got a daft man in charge of it that that has money. It's ridiculous, and I just don't understand it. Yeah, I mean, why aren't they playing them? I have no idea. It's the same as Cardiff and Swansea. I don't understand it. I never have. Yeah, I'm sick of I'm just sick of Wrexham, to be honest. I am. I was happy that they didn't go up last season. I'll be happy again when they don't go up this time as well. Yeah, I don't think they're good, really, and it frustrates me that I think we will lose this game, and obviously I've proven right in the first 30 odd seconds of the game. I just think we will. It just stinks of it, and like I said, why are you going and playing all this way out, and it's the second or third string, Tom. It's probably like in a this obviously this 11 players will never ever play against with each other again. I don't feel like. I just don't feel like they ever will. Obviously, it's an incredibly poor team. Hi, Carl. Yeah, evening, George. Great start. They start like they're still on the beach. Yeah, they probably are, mate. Really, really, really poor. And obviously, like I said just before it started, that they're bang up for it. They want to show. I know it's pre-season friendlies and stuff. It doesn't really matter, but to concede, have a concession like that in the first 30 odd seconds of the game, it's not good enough, really, is it? And, they'll be up for it. Again, Kiefer Moore frustrates me. And the application here that we've seen so far, obviously in the first 6 minutes, has been poor. Really poor. That goal was just ridiculous, and you knew he was going to score as well. That was the thing. Like, it was so obvious that he was going to score. And Alex Cairns, like I said, Alex Cairns is a joke of a player, and it frustrates the hell out of me why they've got him in the squad, because he's just, that's a pen. Did he give it? I don't know if he's given it. I don't think he has. Looked a pen to me, that. But no, he's not giving it, has he? But I don't know why. Because he got there before him. And has he given it, Tom? Because, like I said, I've got it on mute. Did he give it? He just looked like he pointed that way to me. Oh, he has given it. Well, yeah, it was a penalty. That lad in goal's rubbish as well, from what I've seen of him as well. So Perot will probably miss. I don't know. It didn't look like he gave it because he just kind of pointed in the general direction. But it was obviously a penalty. The goalkeeper's rubbish. And, Perot will probably miss and make him look good. Yeah, I told you. I knew he'd miss. He's rubbish, him, isn't he? He really is. He really is poor. He just doesn't look arsed. Yeah, I knew he was going to miss. And like I said, and I said it, he's going to make the goalkeeper look good. Why? Did that hit the post or did the goalkeeper save it? Exactly, probably does, Carl, yeah. I mean, no way shooting. He needs to just go. He just needs to leave. How many chances has he had, particularly from the penalty spot, and he's missed? He's just crap. He's crap, and his confidence is low. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but that penalty was just. I don't understand. How you can be so poor and consistently miss. I think everybody knew when he stepped up that that he was going to miss. Yeah. I just don't honestly see any sort of upside of him in the team at all. And obviously people say, "Oh, what about overreaction? Whatever is it? Is it an overreaction?" I don't think it is. I genuinely think he's rubbish, or he's just the confidence is just completely gone out of him. I just knew he was going to miss. He looks ridiculous with that haircut, and he's just walking about the pitch. It was a casual, really, really casual kick, and he made the goalkeeper look good, and the goalkeeper is clearly not good. Yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Longstaff's got a corner here now. It's headed away. One thing is, I really don't like the goals here either. I know it's a bit, a bit of a thing to say, really, but aesthetically, I know obviously it was a goal against Leeds. Obviously, as Leeds fans, we don't enjoy goals against us, but it just, I don't know, it just the way the ball just came out the goal, it just didn't aesthetically didn't look very nice. I'm not a fan of these nets in this stadium. Lewis O'Brien's on the floor. I mean, it's a challenge with Ampadu. Two people watching. Good morning to you, or good evening, or whatever the time is you're watching. Leeds are one down, and within the first 30 odd seconds of the game, we're now nearly 12 minutes in. Joel Perreault has missed a penalty in around about, I don't know when it was, 7th minute or something like that. Yeah, it's a poor start to this game, but there's lots of time to go. I don't have much confidence this game will improve, given the inconsistent nature of Leeds United's team in this game, and the youth and the incohesion of it all. Got a few first team players on, obviously, but the makeup of the team is not good. It's a good opportunity for the young lads, but let's be completely honest. None of these boys will be even anywhere near the starting lineup when Leeds United get going with the Premier League season in just under a month's time away at Nottingham Forest. Yeah, none of them will be anywhere near this. So and also there's a real thing of pre-season games also. The scoreline doesn't matter at all, but as sportsmen, these lads will not want to lose this game, especially against a lower league opposition. And you have to say, even though they're only only a division below, and they are in the upper echelons nowadays, and they will be this season, I'm sure, towards the definitely inside the top 10, which would make it into the playoffs, given the expansion of the playoffs now. This season, going ahead to the top 8, like I said, they will fancy the chances of getting into the top 8, the playoffs for next season. Like I said, I don't understand it. The team's quite dry for me. It's really not that good, but it's cohesion. It's cohesion, and also it's. I think players like Kiefer Moore, who are obviously good at that level, obviously he caught Leeds real cold in the first few seconds of the game there. Was it a foul? Was it a free kick that from James Justin, or has he given it as a throw into Wrexham? I don't know. No idea. But yeah, what a shame. I mean, I'm getting a little bit tired now, but is a free kick for Wrexham here. And yeah, we've hit 15 minutes now, folks. The game is a bit dull. Obviously, Leeds are 1-0 down. They've got a free kick, and he stood over it now for a good few seconds here. He shoots well over. Oh, it's hit the bar, and then there's a header over. Goodness me, it looked like it was going to go way over the bar. And then I don't know if Cairns has saved it or. Yeah, I'm really sorry for those who do like Alex Cairns. really find him really annoying. And he's just not good. He's just not a good goalkeeper. But yeah, Carl shows we need more squad depth as some fringe players won't cut it next year. Perot, James, etc. I agree with you, mate. But I think Fark's going to change the formation, isn't he? If reports are to be believed, which sort of keeps likes of Dan James and even Willie Nonto around, really, because I think we will play with wingers, and I think we will, and that's like some players like Harry Wilson. Obviously, why Harry Wilson's been brought in, why we're looking at players like Uli and Brandt, to come in. But obviously, with the squad depth, even now, it is poor. It is poor, and obviously we've let a couple of goalkeepers go. Obviously, Darlow and Melier. Perry's there, isn't he, on the bench? But he's looking likely. I don't know why they've not let Perry go on to Italy and they can finalise his move to Torino, because that obviously looks like it's going to happen. And obviously we're bringing in Trafford. We'll bring in a second choice as well, because no way they're going into the season with Trafford and Cairns as the only two goalkeepers. Like I said, Alex Cairns will never play for Leeds in a competitive match. I believe that. It'll be James Trafford, obviously, as number one, and a competent second choice as number two, who will probably play in the cups. Carl, if we go back to a 4, we need massive upgrade. Back 5, if we are solid and suits our squad make up, I guess you're going to say. I believe so, Carl. Yeah, there's a free kick here. Willie Nonto's won it in the centre circle, but I think so. I think, I was trying to think about this, and the back 4 for me would mean obviously dropping either one of Rodon and Biol, because he's not going to drop Mihajlovic, is he? Because he's just signed him for £30 million. So it'll be him, and I would say probably Biol, which means Rodon gets dropped, which is a little bit tight, really, to me. But I think we did so well with the back 5. It would be silly, really, to kind of just let that go. But looks like he might be doing, which for me would suggest we need another centre back. We need better, maybe quality, But if you look at that, Biol and Mihajlovic, and then Rodon on the bench, I think we need another wing back probably as cover, because if either Justin or Bogle get injured, it's then a bit of a struggle with Sam Byron. With nobody really wants him to play there. Obviously, Goodmanson as well. Obviously, if any of those three are injured for whatever reason, we're in the bin, aren't we? Really, so I'd say we definitely need another left wing back. That's really poor. Again, from Leeds there. Yeah, I mean, this Ginger, I think it's Mills 72 on his back. Looks a little bit lively, but again, I don't know. They look a little bit more quick to the ball, and I'm not really sure why that is, to be honest, because I know they might just still be on beach. I don't know. And like Carl said earlier on, still on beach and not woken up yet, not at all privy to what was going on. Definitely in that first 30 seconds, it was ridiculously poor down that kind of right-hand side. I don't know who the hell was marking who. It was a really easy goal to score for Wrexham. And like I said, Kiefer, I don't care what level you're playing against. If he gets in that position, he's going to score goals. and that's just it. But we'll wait to see. The new kit does look nice, Carl. I don't know why they've not brought out the home kit. I don't know what they're doing with the home kit. And the other one. The other one's a black kit, isn't it? I think all black. And I don't know what they're doing with the home kit. I know what it is as well. Obviously, I think a lot of people do. It's that stripy number, isn't it? The horizontal number. With the alternative, that's a good tackle, Willie. That with the alternative blue and yellow horizontal stripes. If it stays like this, would you say they have done well? No, I'd say they've done really poorly, Tom. To be honest with you, and I would be absolutely. I mean, that's a good tackle. That. I mean, he should have got that. I don't think it was a good pass, that, from... it was a clean tackle, though. No, I don't think they've done well at all here. I know that, that was a foul, but I know that, they're up for it, aren't they? Again, even though it's a pre-season friendly, they'll... I don't know, no, none of this hydration break. What are you doing? Oh, no. Oh, God. Not again. Damn hydration break. Tom says, regarding kit, I prefer it when they keep their designs clean and simple with traditional colours. Don't like it when they mess around with fancy over clever designs. I mean, I agree, really, Tom. I mean, Leeds kit is pretty simple, isn't it? Really, the white one. You can't really get it too wrong, can you? I won't have said it's a plain white kit. Like I said, it looks like they've tried. They've tried something a little bit different, and this time around, by the look of it, and whether it sells or not, I don't know. I mean, I must admit, I do prefer the clean white strip that we have for the home kit. Obviously, the yellow is traditional for Leeds. You would kind of like to say that the third kit would be blue or alternate the away kit blue and third kit yellow, but it doesn't happen like that. We know what football is now. It's a sales game, isn't it? They know what sells. This is a really smart kit, to be fair. And they know what sells. I mean, look, they were just looking at the goal again. It's a wide open space for the lad to run into. Kiefer Moore just peels off. I don't know if I think it's Rodon, actually. Yeah, it was. It really poor. Really, really, really poor. Yeah, just bad. But there was a third kit they had either last season or season before that was snazzy, fancy design and very different, and everybody hated it, but I liked it actually. Was it the bluey purple one, Tom? Then the dark blue and purple. It was a bit jazzy, wasn't it? I think that Adidas design works well for us with the sleeve stripes, but I don't like the Red Bull logo. Ruins it, in my opinion. Yeah, the Red Bull logo is obviously a contentious point, isn't it? One with it being, having the red on it in most cases, and and with this, obviously, they blended it in with the colour of the kit, which is fine. It looks okay. I think a lot of people from principle probably won't like, what Red Bull represents, but it's better than some of the sponsors, isn't it, that they've had. The last black kit we had was nice, a Kappa one. It was. I like that one, Carl. I mean, I really do, Kappa, because it seems to be quite tight. But this was quite nice actually. Carl, that is, I think, asking you, Tom, which one you did like. The orange and pink one. That was the third from the same season as Carl was talking about. I've got both of those kits actually. Those shirts. I did like both of them. That was a good season. The white one was also very nice with the alternate blue and yellow Adidas stripes down the shoulders. That was quite nice as well. Coupled with that yellow and blue one. Sorry, the yellow and pink, and then the dark blue one with the peacock print. It was a really smart kit set, that, and obviously it was a shame that we didn't end up going up in those. Really, we actually did really poorly in that dark blue and turquoise piping kit. I don't think we won a game when we wore that. Obviously, the following season we went up, didn't we? And the away kit was something else that has escaped my tired mind at the moment. I can't remember what it was. It was only a couple of years ago. It's completely escaped my mind, that, for some reason. But yeah, so sorry, it was a yellow one, wasn't it? The yellow away kit. And yeah, the blue and kind of blue and kind of purple third kit, wasn't it? We're like a bunch of effing fashion designers sat around discussing this. Yeah, exactly, mate. Why not? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. That's what football shirts have become. Bloke core and all that. Look at I guess back in day it was just a couple of lads wearing the kit and that was it. And now it's all this fancy atmosphere building little videos and stuff like that. Everybody trying to outdo each other with the kits, and it's just fashion pieces, aren't they now, basically? I mean, to be fair, this is what we're wearing here. You know what I mean? I know it's traditional colours and that, but that was a good goal, to be fair. Well played, Perot. Fair enough. Fair play to you. Fair play to you. Real question that everybody is demanding an answer to: just who is Raymond James? Who is Raymond James, mate? And why have we got? I know why I've got a pirate ship in this stadium, but again, I really don't either as well. It was a good goal, that, well played. I mean, it is more entertaining the game, mate. But at least we've got a goal now, and we're back on level terms. We should be ahead with the damn penalty, but I agree with you, Carl. You really do need to cut your hair, Mr. Yolpero. It looks stupid. The goalkeeper, again, for Wrexham, proving that he is poor. He's not very good. Just Googled, and it looks like it's the name of a fan. Oh yes, sorry, I did. I think Google this the other day actually as well, and I do remember now, Tom, that it did. It was under, a financial company. Nothing exciting, but like I said, the exciting thing is they do have a pirate ship within the stadium that I think you can sit in. It's for the Buccaneers. I think the logo is the pirate, like a pirate head, isn't it, or a skull and crossbones. Um, yeah, I bet you got a bit excited, didn't you, mate? Thinking it was some kind of mythical man or whatever. I don't know, but it's nothing exciting. It's one of the most inexciting things you could possibly have potentially. But there you go. But yeah, well done to Perot. Obviously, didn't let his missed penalty affect him too much. He got in there. It was a nice bit of play down that right hand side from Sean Longstaff, and Perot sort of bundled it in, but it was like almost like a backheeled finish, which obviously ended up going in the goal. I get goalkeeper probably should have done a little bit better. But we call them. There's barely anybody there, is there? There's barely anybody there. I mean, I think it's going on. It's going on evening, isn't it? I think it's just past 8 o'clock in the evening there, and you know, on a Saturday evening, nobody's bothered, and the game's been played at a little bit of a poor pace. This really, the Wrexham just looking for that over the top ball every time for Kiefer Moore, which worked in the first minute, but I don't think it's worked since, really. And you can kind of see Leeds, although we've been a bit poor, I think we've got control of this game. I know it wasn't the best start. We should be ahead with the missed penalty, but you can see once we get the ball, we are quite sort of calm on it. Even with the young lads in the team, we're looking kind of calm and collected on it. Tom says, personally, I've always rated Perot. I've been him on here before. Yeah, I always rated Perot, mate. Always rated him, you know. Yeah, you have, I think. I think you have, but for me, it's time. Time is up, really. If you can't, I don't know. It's not just the miss. He seems to just always seem to come up with an opportunity where he just seems to miss a lot. He missed the pen. Obviously, he's missed the pen here. And in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. It's a pre-season friendly, but you know, I think when you start to miss, when you just start to miss all the time, and when he came on last season, he was pretty poor. I was happy when he scored that goal against Norwich in the FA Cup. I was happy for him there, but it's like he's digging his heels in completely. Like, yeah, I just want to fight. I think I saw a quote from him the other day saying, like, you know, yeah, I just want to fight for my place. And if not, then we'll see what happens. But it's like, come on, up your game then, pal, because we can't. I don't want to go in the season with none other than him and Lucas Metcher and DCL. And I know Okafor can play up top, but he's not the best, is he? I don't want to go in the season with that. I think we need something else. There's been odd links here and there, haven't there? I like the Francolino. Is it Francolino, the guy from Michelin? You know, I mentioned this ages ago to lads that, you know, we've got a WhatsApp group going with the LS11 lads. I don't know if anybody on here used to watch LS11 with me and Aaron and Big Lou and Alfie and Lewis, but we've still got the obviously WhatsApp group going, and that's always good. And I said to the lads ages ago, you know, this Francolino guy playing for Michelin, you know, he's one to watch kind of thing. Obviously, nothing's been happening yet. You don't know how concrete these rumours are, but and you know the rumour was poo-pooed the other day by Graham Smythe, wasn't it? That Leeds want the other Bosnian lad from Stuttgart, and he kind of said, "Nah, they want somebody a little bit younger," which would fall in line with Francolino. I think he's 22, so that would fall in line with him or anybody else. Who knows at this point? But yeah, the ref's given a foul for something. To be fair, like the young, I don't know who's giving the free kick to. Looks like he's giving it to. Is he giving it to Leeds? I don't know. I think he's giving it for a dive. No, he's giving Wrexham a free kick. I don't know. Like I said, I'm watching it on mute, so I'm not sure. I think without DCL, he would have bagged a few goals. He just hasn't been given a chance, probably because he was a championship player. I think he has been given enough minutes, like last season, Tom, personally. When he did get the game time, he just didn't do anything with it. He was always, I think we're all willing him to score, obviously, and break his duck. And he scored so many goals in the, championship winning season. Was it 19 goals? He got 4 goals against Stoke that day in the first half, and he was absolutely unplayable that day. But I don't think he's scored a competitive league goal since that day. Um, Obviously, like I said, scored in the FA Cup against Norwich last season. But yeah, he needs a shot in the arm. I think he needs something. Uh, I tell you what, he did really well there. The Mills, but the ball in was just a little bit too short. I think it was for Nonso. Slid in now. Oh, that was good actually. Bit of space now for James to run into. He's getting there. It's rolled in for Willie Nonso. Nonso, the shot's blocked. Bit poor that really, lad, but never mind. And then line out, puts it out for a goal kick. He looks all right as well, but obviously he's been called up to the to the Welsh national team already, the full team. Again, if he's like a wing back, then maybe he's the man to give a go. I mean, to be honest, we do need to give. I would like, as many Leeds fans, other Leeds fans would. I'd like to see. I'd like to see more of the young lads given a go, but I think the step up from the Premier League is so vast. It's kind of hard to give these sort of players a little bit of a go. In a friendly game like this, it's probably the perfect. It probably is the perfect kind of time to do that with them. But yeah, Carl says Defo digging in his heels in at the ground because he don't hardly move. Championship, he's fantastic, but Prem is well out. He definitely looked like that last season, didn't he? And you're right, he barely moves. If you watch him, I mean, I've been watching him in this game. He hasn't. He's barely moved. He's barely moved a muscle. He's missed that pen. Yeah, he moved for that goal, but that was once again in the 6-yard box. And I just don't rate him at the level. Excuse me, at the level we're playing at currently, like, and the level that we look like we're wanting to get to with these signings and rumored, players that are coming in. He's not gonna, he's not gonna be there much longer if he continues with the game time that he gets. Yes, it's here and there, not much time here and there, but that's because he's proven at this level that he isn't what we need. And I think you've got to pass the sentiment off and say eventually, like, actually, yeah, we can't just keep giving him a go just because he was, our leading scorer when we went up. I don't think that automatically buys him, a place in the squad when we're clearly wanting to go a bit better. I must admit, go on, Willie, finish that. You should have done, lad. It was a really poor effort. Drill it in. Really poor, really nice. I'll tell you what, though, that Mills lad, again, that was poor from James. That Mills lad looks all over the pitch and all over the place, and he looks quite good, actually. I must admit, it was a really nice bit of play, that. He did well. He picked out Longstaff and then picked out Willie Nonto. I don't know why you're trying to chip it from there, lad. Just drill it in. Just drill it, and he might have scored. And that's again the difference between, at this kind of level we're playing at. I know this is a pre-season friendly against an opposition who's a league below. But he's got away there. I bet he scores here. Should do. Yeah, he did. So again, it's 2-1 now, and again, just really poor. I don't understand it. Cadamartri, obviously Danny's son. I just don't get it. I really don't understand it. Yeah. It's pissing me off watching this because why is everybody in their half? And Alex Cairns ain't gonna do shit, so it's obviously it's 2-1. But I don't understand it. Why was there no defence there? He nearly missed it, but he squeezed it in. And it's 2-1. And a few minutes before that, Willie Nonto should have put us 2-1 ahead. So, you know what I mean? It's just really poor. Half-ass bollocks, this. Half-ass bollocks. The longer we keep him, the more value he loses. Our transfer business so far and potential travel coming in is fantastic. So, it's so far, Carl, yeah, Like that's what I mean for where they look to be going with the transfer business. I don't think there's a place in the squad for him at all, to be honest. But I am really disappointed with this showing. It's really poor. I don't understand why they're playing like this. Why they're playing with like everybody up in one half when you what are you doing? Like, and Willie Nonto trying to chip the goalkeeper. The bloody lad's massive. The lad's massive in goal. He's a tall lad. You can't chip him from there. If you drill it low, you probably score. And then you're 2-1 up. Instead, we're 2-1 down now. And like I said at the top, I think Wrexham will probably win this game. And I don't know. I don't understand the tactics of everybody up in the one half and then suddenly Joe Rodon's getting caught out, he can't make the tackle and the lad's away and he's got the simple task of rounding the goalkeeper and putting it in the net, even though he did almost miss that. It's just frustrating. Because and don't get me wrong, they've played some nice stuff here and there, but again, it's here and there. It's not, and when you get to the end of it, it's been not very good, and largely, sadly, a lot of that has come from also players that you think, hang on a minute, you might want to have. Oh, that's a great goal, actually, though, from Longstaff. Yeah, nice goal. Brilliant finisher. We know he's got that in his locker, Carl, don't we? But again, it's half-assed, really. Like, come to Mills, his shot got blocked. I mean, it's a lovely finish, isn't it? And again, it speaks to the goalkeeper. Probably should have saved it, actually, if we see another angle of that. Well, behind the goal's not going to help. Yeah, goalie should have saved it for me. And yeah, and it's two apiece again. Look, it's a for the for the neutral, even for the fans of the team on a friendly game. It's quite a entertaining one, but I don't. Again, I don't really see why they're performing like they are if you're going into a Premier League season like this. And you're playing up against a team, who are bang up for it. It's all about, it's all about going into the season with a cohesive way of playing. And you can see that, yeah, they are young players, but they've got players who have got experience. Longstaff and Ampadu and Rodon. They shouldn't really be playing like they don't know one another. I mean, these lads have been playing the youth team for a little while. I mean, I must admit, the young boys have done well. I was impressed. I've been in. Oh, you should have gone out there. Willie was on. Dan's on up there. But I have been impressed with. Like all of them have done quite well. Um, the young lads, Linau and Cresswell, all done okay. Um, and then you've got Mills, who again he looks quite tidy on the ball. I think he's going to blow for half time, isn't he now? Or he should do. Don't know why he's playing over here. Longstaff on the ball. But yeah, I don't know why he's playing over. But they're doing okay. There's half time, look, two apiece. Um, yeah, I think they should be well ahead. Yeah, Mark Leary, mate. Good evening or good morning. No, it's 1:30 in the morning here. George, it's pre-season and this team won't be in the Leeds starting their lineup for PL or even cup games. It's a warm game to get their fitness levels up and give it things a new team players run. Of course, it is Michael. I know. Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's that, isn't it? But yeah, I think just good habits habits are good to get into. Um, and I think we've got to start getting into good habits early. And I think that particularly that first minute goal was a ridiculous thing. That second goal they scored as well was also ridiculous. Um, and I feel it was avoidable, but like I said, it's pre-season friendly. Thoughts on the World Cup? Well, England disappointing, weren't they, in the end, mate, weren't they? Sadly for England, I mean, to defend for so long when he went 1-0 up against Argentina, for a minute you thought, wow, are Leeds going to actually do this here? Sorry, are England going to do it when Anthony Gordon scored? But ultimately, you can't defend like that for as long as they were trying to do, without any kind of way out, any out ball at all. Then it's going to be a long sort of half hour, and it was incredibly predictable that they were going to go on and score a couple of goals for me. And ultimately, they won the game. My thoughts on the tournament as a whole. I actually quite enjoyed it. I always do, obviously, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was nice to watch games that you wouldn't obviously ordinarily see. Otherwise, that's always the fun part of it, isn't it? Seeing games you wouldn't already ordinarily see and players you wouldn't ordinarily watch. There's a lot of buzz about it, and yeah, I enjoyed it as a whole. I was happy, obviously. Well, I wasn't say I was happy that Spain won. I wasn't really bothered, but I was kind of like, okay, I'd probably rather they win um, than Argentina, and they obviously did. So that was fine. Um, and when he's talking Leeds back, Michael, it's back next week. I think me and Aaron plan to do a show on Thursday, or this week on Thursday. So is it Thursday the 30th of July? I said to him, now that the pre-season friendlies are back underway, obviously the transfer business going on, that, yeah, let's get back to it. So all being well, we will be back to talking Leeds on Thursday. And George, someone who watches Brazilian football, you must have been disappointed by their World Cup with them going out so early. Yeah, I was. I am obviously interested and very much intrigued by Brazilian football, and there's a Brazilian games on now. They're back on now. Started a couple of last week, I think, or a couple of weeks ago. Sorry, last week I think they started back again, and yeah, back on now. So they're playing now as well. So it's back underway, the Brazilian league. But yeah, I was disappointed because naturally I want to, want them to do well. I'm intrigued by who Carlo Ancelotti brings into the squad and all this kind of thing. Because obviously, and if there's any domestic league players going, there was quite a few this time. Who's gonna be involved? Try and pick out who I think will be involved in the next kind of World Cup or whatever. And yeah, I was disappointed they went out so early, but they deserved it. They didn't play well at all against Norway. They only just scraped it against Japan, didn't they? So yeah, I wasn't very happy really. And you say here, Michael, as well. I understand that Brighton are exploring a potential move for DCL to boost their attacking options. I don't know, mate. Where have you heard about this? I mean, to me, naturally, DCL's omission from this game today, I think people are kind of saying, "Whoa, hold up a minute. Where is he?" Obviously, I think Fox said he's got a minor strain or something like that. But I think, to be honest, at this point, like they might say, like, if he was to go, I don't think he's going anywhere personally. And like Tom says, I'm sure he'll appear against Liverpool unless he's still injured. But for me, he won't be going anywhere. Personally, though, if he does go to Brighton, like DCL and Welbeck, I know they're sort of aging too, but that would be quite a potent strike for us. There's a lot of Bosnian fans there. They're not going to see Tarek Mahmovic because he's not in the squad, is he? But yeah, personally, yeah, I don't think we'll see DCL go. I think he'll be like Tom says, in for Liverpool, or yeah, probably, or back at the games at Ellen Road. I don't know. Hopefully, there's nothing in it, and we'll just yeah, he'll just be there. I don't think he's going anywhere. If he does, we've got work to do and getting probably two strikers to to make up for the shortfall in goals that he will get. Who knows? I mean, he's injury prone anyway. I think we do really need to improve on the striking positions because, again, we can't rely on him staying fit, to be quite honest. There's talk of other Leeds podcasts regarding DCL with a potential fee regarding from 80 million to 25 million. To be fair, like if we were to get like 20 to 25 million for DCL at the age he is, which I think he's 29, it wouldn't be bad at all. I actually think that'd be quite good because he'd be injured. You don't know if he's going to keep fit. I did all right last season, didn't he, with the amount of time that he kept fit. But he might not do this season. We know that he's got an issue with with keeping fit. So £25 million for me, or £20 million even for a 29-year-old player who's injury prone, can score goals when he's fit, but he's injury prone quite a lot of the time, or the potential to be. I don't think it'd be bad. I think as long as we would obviously get a competent replacement in, which I don't think. I think this is I think this is bollocks, Michael. Anyway, to be honest, I don't know where it come from, what's going on, but if that did happen, yeah, I think they wouldn't let him go unless they had somebody straight in the door. I've noticed that football animation appears when I click like for this video. Yeah, they always do, mate. They always do, Tom. I don't know what it is, whether the algorithm just picks up that, it's football related or whatever, but I've seen on other podcasts or whatever, or videos that I've liked that related to football, then little football thing shoots across quickly, and yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I think we need a goalkeeper, playmaker, and top striker. Yeah, I'd agree. I think after Trafford we need another one. I think obviously we need number 10. I think if Julian Brandt signs, then obviously that's sewn up. You've got Wilson, who can also play in a 10 position as well. And obviously Aronson, I don't think will go anywhere. So you've got that position covered with Brandt coming in. And then obviously it's a striker. I don't think DCL will go. If he does, I think we need a top striker and then a backup striker. So that would naturally be two strikers we need. As it stands, I think we need a backup striker of a good standard. Which is obviously there's a couple of links come out over the last couple of days, obviously, weren't there? That suggests maybe we are in for another striker. And then I think we maybe need a left wing back cover. I mean, Lineau's done okay in this game, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be it for the whole season, does it? So I think we need another wing back. So yeah. What about the Brazilian striker at Fulham, Nunes, who Leeds were after last summer, but his fee was quoted at 40 million. He should be a lot less this summer if available. He should, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of Fulham fans, Michael, saying a bit worried about Nunes in terms of where is his goal contributions going to come from. And, Fulham fans are a little bit worried about where all the team's goals are going to come from, not just from Nunes. So I don't know. I mean, it's not been mentioned again, has it? But they were going heavy for him last season, weren't they? And so were Newcastle, if I remember correctly, as well. So yeah, they were up for him as well. He obviously stayed, didn't do very well. I think got an injury at the start of the season and then just didn't really seem to recover. So after that, I'm not really sure. Um, I don't want that. I mean, yeah, I think if it's a backup, if you DCL and Tom says even if DCL stays, I would sign a top striker. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. You can't rely on him to stay fit. Exactly. You just can't rely on him to stay fit the whole season. And if he's not playing, what you got, like I said, what you're going into a season with, bloody Lucas Mecha and Yol Perot. Nah, I don't think so. We need better quality here, and I agree with you, Tom. Really, we need a player that can really step up and score goals, share the goals with DCL and the other lads involved. Okafor and Mecha here and there, Perot maybe, and if Perot does stick around, like we still need. I agree with you. I think we still need a striker because they're not good enough. Excuse me. Yeah. Kind of light show here now at half time. What's the situation with Ramazani? I think Valencia. Um, I don't know. No, I didn't say anything about Ramazani, Tom, but I think Ramazani is going. Fact thing is, you look at the players that have been missed off this tour of America. Ramazani, obviously, likes a Joffrey. We know that Harrison probably should have flown with the squad and then gone to, New England Revolution. He'd already be, well, I'll say he's already in America. America's vast. But looking like Harrison is going to go to them, isn't it? I would imagine that gets done next week. But you'd have thought, I know these young lads, there's some young lads gone, quite a few young lads that have gone on this tour. But, you look at the sort of senior players that have been missed out. And obviously Ramazan, there's only been about, obviously Joffrey's never going to play for Leeds again. We knew this a long time ago. But, Ramazani, for me, I would keep him, particularly if you're going to go and play with wingers this season. I would keep him. I'd be more inclined to sell Dan James than I would Ramazani. But I know he won't do that. And to me, if we're playing for wingers, we need another winger on top of Harry Wilson, because I imagine if he's playing with a front four, he'll probably play Wilson on the right, Okafor on the left. There'll be maybe he'll play like Julian Brandt in the middle, and then you've got DCL up front, or and that doesn't look too bad on paper, really. But let's wait and see. I mean, but personally, yeah, I think he'll end up somewhere. I don't think it'll be Valencia. I don't think they can get the cash for Ramazani. Obviously, we'll wait and see. He will get a move somewhere, surely. But towards the end of the window, maybe. But he's not going to be involved with Leeds, I don't think. Leeds tend to go back for players that they didn't get first time around, like Tanaka and Dan James. Leeds are being strongly linked with the Brazilian attacker Paixão, who went to Marseille and now available. Yeah, they have been, Michael, but I think again, I don't know whether that's again a link of, oh yeah, Leeds were interested in last summer. Marseille now need a sell because they're in financial trouble. Let's put two and two together and get five. A bit of that. I don't know. There might be links, but again, if you're getting a player like Paixão, then the likes of I don't know, the likes of like Dan James, for example, probably need to be moved on. I mean, I like Willie Gnonto, but Willie Gnonto doesn't really, I don't know, he doesn't really exude a lot of confidence. I mean, Lucas Perry's come on here for, I don't really know why. I mean, again, I'm not a big fan of Alex Cairns. I never have been. Um, but, Lucas Perry's come on. I mean, to be fair, whether he's changed the whole team, I don't know. I've just seen Lucas Perry because he came on the screen. And I must say, we're talking about kits earlier on. That the goalkeeper kit for me is absolutely fabulous. I'm not so bothered about the blue one, but that sort of pinky purple matched with the green is, I don't know, it's something that shouldn't go well together, but it kind of does. And it looks kind of nice. So I don't mind that one. I don't mind it. But yeah, if you're getting Pai Zhao in, um, you need to be moving on players like Dan James, and who's again injury prone, and again, like I said, I like Willie Gnonto, but again, Willie Gnonto really, I think if Willie stays and he doesn't, there's Lucas Metcher and Jaden Bogle coming on here as well. Anton Stack and Tanaka and Harry Wilson also. So now the big lads are coming on, and you'd expect Leeds to turn the screw here. Really. Ramazani would prefer over James for technical reasons. He's left split, biased, and would therefore be useful either way. Exactly. DJ just plays on the left predominantly. And so yeah, I think Ramazani, for me, Ramazani would be the one. And you'd bin off Dan James, but if you're looking at players like Pai Zhao, if that is a real link, and we would end up getting him at the second time, and I do take your point, Michael, that Leeds do tend to go for players that they've gone in for before, and and then not got for whatever reason the first time around, and then gone in again, like you said. Tanaka, Wilson, Dan James himself. There's been a few examples over the last few years, and obviously very recently with Harry Wilson, that they do, they will go back again. If they don't get the man the first time round. Now, you've said here, Michael, Largy, Schmidt, and Perry were 49 signings. They didn't have FARC seal of approval. And they were players FARC publicly criticised, so they were not going to last long. Yeah, exactly. And obviously, it's a shame because there is a player there in Largy. There definitely is. And, I really like Largy. And, when he was on it in that season, in the championship winning campaign, he was on it. And he looked good. But it was bursts here and there. And you could tell he never got the chance. Schmidt as well, who did also look okay in the championship when he got the opportunity. Just didn't get enough opportunity. And obviously, like I said, Perry, obviously, look, I know he's on here now. He's come on for the second half. But, we just had a chance in Gnonto. Goalkeeper saved it. But, I think Schmidt's moved on to young boys, obviously. Perry will go because he has to. I mean, I don't think Perry's going to want to sit on the bench. I mean, for me, I wouldn't mind if he did. He's okay. But it's clear to me that obviously Trafford's going to be number one. They will buy another one in. I imagine this will probably be the last time that we see him in a Leeds United shirt, which isn't the end of the world, is it? Look, he's only played one season for us, and he wasn't even that good. Only played half of it, didn't he? Really, after that Newcastle mistake, I don't think he played again in the Premier League. I think we probably do need a clear out over the next 2 seasons. Sell off James Gnonto, and all the other legacy players from Championship era. Shame about Nonto. Could have been great. It could have been Tom, and I agree with you. It's a bit like again rejuvenating the team after we got after we went down. Got promoted and then went down, and the likes of the old guys. Bill Ayling and Liam Cooper and all these kind of lads. Dallas. I know Dallas obviously got injured, but all them, Clicky, all these kind of lads who have put years into the team, and it was about time that they eventually started to drop off and drop out of the team. I think we're at this stage now where we do need to rejuvenate it really, because the likes of DJ, he's been there for years now. Obviously spent that time on loan at Fulham. Came back. I didn't expect him to play in the Championship, to be fair. But obviously, he played the whole time. He played both seasons. I didn't expect him to, but he did, obviously. And he did well in the Championship. But making that step back up to the Premier League, obviously last season, he was great in the Championship when we won it. But last season was poor. Barely played because of injury. And I don't think it's time to keep him in the books, particularly with Wilson coming in. It's a step up, and if you bring in Pajau, for example, then that's definitely going to be, going to see the end to him for me. Michael Brown at Wrexham lineup is their strongest lineup. It's a team they play in the Championship. Leeds lineup is a mixture of fringe and youth team. It was now. The second half's a bit more stronger, isn't it? It's pretty much almost full strength into here. I think Ampadu's gone to centre back with Rodon, Tanaka, and Stack in the middle. There's a lot of players, and you can immediately see the step up here in the quality. There was a poor pass from Wilson, but yeah, you can immediately see like Tanaka's won it back. He's won a free kick. You can immediately see Leeds are more composed, and we were, like I said, that was our strongest lineup. They scored off a couple of mistakes, caught us cold in the first few seconds of the match, and then obviously it was a mistake for their second one, and they haven't looked great otherwise, to be fair, and it is their top team, basically what they would play in the Championship match. And yeah, Harrison off to the MLS. I mean, that's no great shame either. It is a shame the way that it's gone for Jack, but it's not a shame, really, because of how it went for him. But he put a lot of years into Leeds United, and for me, he's in the same vein as Dan James for me. Obviously, Dan's gone about it in a different way, but I still think he's not good enough, and I think he needs to now be moved on. If we had a bad start to the season, Tom, would I also say get rid of Fark? Probably, yeah. I think so. I think so. But looking how we're kind of going in terms of what we're trying to get in, and if we do get those targets in, you expect Trafford's going to be done. There's too much talk of Julian Brandt for it to not get done for me, basically. So I think he will be done. And to me, I think on top of what we've already got, which is a good level Premier League side when it's all fully fit and ready to go, I would say, yeah, I would give him, if we were started poorly, I would only give him till, and if it went like, for instance, if it went like it did last season, he'd be sacked before Christmas, definitely. And I think that would be fine. For me, I wouldn't mind that. To me, the players are better than that, though, better than that. And I think we'll stay. I think we'll be comfortable, to be honest. It's not like Fark's a decent manager, you know. I think he is, you know, but there's certain limitations to his style of play and the way that he can get a team to play that it does limit us, and obviously that's not good. And I think ultimately he's only got a certain, you know, where that he's only got a certain level he can take the team, and I think that is nearing the end, basically. And that's nothing bad about him. He's done well for us. He got us promoted, did the job he was there to do, and he kept us up, which was a brilliant first season. But in the end, but I do think he's, you know, this season is almost even more of a how are you going to do then this time. You know, it's right. Okay, you stayed up. You got them up. You got us up. You stayed up. What can you do next? And you've always got to be reassessing and evolving the team. And if you can't do it, there's another guy waiting that could probably do a better job. So, like I said, I don't mean bump him off, just sack him. Yeah, exactly. It's not a case of like, oh, you've done a poor job, let's sack you. It's just a case of it'd be a case of you've done a great job, you've got us up, you've kept us up, but it's not going very well this time. If that happens, then there's no shame in getting sacked. Really, managers get sacked all the time, not just because nobody likes them or whatever. It's just because it was their time to go. And I do think Fark, yeah, I think this season, if we start slowly and we haven't picked up by October, November time, I'd say yeah, it's time for him to definitely time for him to get the sack. And you know, because he's put a good number of years in, he's done as well, but it's time. It would be time to move on. And with this group of players, I've always said it, and now we're improving on the playing staff and the playing side of things. That a better manager, no disrespect to Daniel Fark, but a better manager would get more out of this team. I even said that at the start of last season. I think they would. A better manager would get more out of this, and that's fine. Now, there's not to say that he can't get more out of it, but yeah, I'm just still not thinking, still don't think he's the best, the best man for it. Mills has gone off, mate, but he did play well. I thought all the young boys did well. Like I said, Lionel, Cresswell, Alfie Cresswell. You know, and Mills is only 17. He did really well. Yeah, they all did. And if that's the future, obviously it's hard to say. It's a pre-season friendly game against a team in the lower division. But if that's the things to come, then fair enough. Ajax have also put in an offer for Brandt as his team have been talking to other clubs, not just Leeds. Yeah, of course, Michael. But I think I've read somewhere that Leeds are the front runners. Have offered him a 3-year deal. There was a report I read that he wanted European football, but at this moment in time, lads, you've been deliberating it for ages now, for like over a month probably. I think it's time to make a decision on it. And I expect maybe we'll see a decision maybe by the end of this week, hopefully, and we'll get, I saw a reporter after that. Sulk, is it Sulk? If we don't get Brand, next team is mid-table. I think Fark can do that. Maybe not any higher, but who knows? He may develop further, Tom. Yeah, he may do. But yeah, like I said, I've always laid my honest opinions out with Fark, and I know me and Aaron have a bit of a discussion about him always here and there and all the time. But for me, like he's okay. He's not absolutely fantastic. But in the same way, he's not the worst, and he's done well for us. And there's cohesion there with the players. The players know what they're getting with him by now. He seems quite close to the group, whereas obviously managers like Bielsa obviously famously weren't. I think by the look of it, he's got a genuine rapport with the boys in the squad, and that's always good to see. And you know, as a sort of any job, you want to know that your managers you kind of got your back a bit, I suppose. And it looks like with Fark, it looks like from what the fans can see anyway, the he has the players' backs and they trust him and they like him. And so, that's really, really good. But, there is also, like you said, the the fact is that we are there to win football games, and sometimes the quality that he has hits a pretty low ceiling, really. But which managers do you have in mind who would be better? Um, I mean, there's got to be gambles here. I kind of like, even though I don't think it'll be completely like it'll go completely well. I actually quite like the Arbeloa at Fulham. I like that from them. They've gone somewhere a little bit left field, and they've decided to think, right, okay, young manager, let's give him a go and see how he does. And I think that's really good. So I think a player like, manager like that, up and coming, I know Thiago Motta. I don't know if Thiago Motta's in in a job right now, but or even one that's come off the World Cup, not like an up and coming manager, but somewhere that been there and done that kind of thing, and or maybe we just need a manager like Bielsa who comes and shakes it all up out of nowhere, who nobody expected. Because I think when Fark got appointed, you were you knew it was going to happen, didn't you? You knew that was going to be the case, that Fark was coming in, but you think, wow, who's going to come in? And somebody comes in completely out of nowhere. It's a bit of excitement. You've got to do your work quickly. Think, all right, who's this guy then? But there's a couple in Brazil. I do like Abel Ferreira, but that again, it's a gamble. I mean, Felipe Luis did very well at Flamengo as well. Obviously, I like my Brazilian football, and Arthur Jorge as well, the Portuguese coach. There's a few there that you think, okay, actually, I think they do okay, and yeah, I think Grosso is also managing in Italy, who has done quite well. So there's naturally going to be questions and gambles, but I would not know who they would be going for at all. They've done the due diligence already. They will have to have done. Can't go into a new season or any point in any season saying, right, okay, we're blind. I mean, hopefully they'll have learnt from the mess that was when we went down that time. Took an age, it seemed, to appoint Javi Gracia, and then it was just a mess, wasn't it? So you've got to have your wits about. Maybe even Arnie Slot, you know what I mean? I know we couldn't get him then, but he's won the Premier League now. He might want a little bit further up the food chain, but if you're offering a job and a team that are progressing, that now that you might be able to see, do well with, and I think he was treated really unfairly actually in the end at Liverpool. I think Arne Slot, Premier League winner, particularly if Fark can hold us into a mid-table position. Maybe if he can see progression, I think Arne Slot wouldn't really be a bad shout either. But there you go. Who knows, Tom? Ultimately, all going well, we can expect 2 or 3 seasons in mid-table. So I prefer to keep him and build solid. Yeah. I understand the kind of solid kind of thing. Roden said it was the best dressing room he's been at in a club level. Yeah, and I understand why you'd say that as well. You've got to remember, Michael, there's a lot of his pals in there, aren't there? There's a lot of his pals there in the Welsh lads, and there's another one now with Wilson. And he said, didn't he, the Welsh boys were definitely a big factor into why he chose Leeds in the end. So I'm not surprised Roden would say that. I think Fark genuinely is one of the lads as well, to be honest. They all enjoy him. I nothing against Fark, like personally, at all. From what I've seen, looks like quite a entertaining bloke, to be fair, and a nice chap, and he's very jovial as well, which I enjoy. But I just think he can perhaps maybe have taken us as far as he can. What about Pep for Leeds? No, I don't think so, mate. I think he was probably maybe interested in England. I don't know. Arnie Slot. Italy have Pep on the radar to make him the Italian. No, it's Pirlo. Pirlo, Michael has taken the Italian job. The Italian job. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Yeah, Pirlo. Pirlo's a new head coach of the Italian national team. Pep turned him down, but I've heard, like I said, that Pep is interested in the England position. Yeah, if reports are to be believed, which obviously they're probably not, to be honest. But I don't know how reputable that source was. But yeah, Nagelsmann. Yeah, again, whether he'd consider Leeds. I mean, again, you don't know. But I like also the idea of picking up I know Man City did it with obviously Maresca. Obviously, he was the assistant, wasn't he, or one of Pep's assistants. Same with Arteta, wasn't it? Assistant at City, and then he got a job, and now obviously he's done well. But I like that sort of picking out a competent assistant and saying, hey, now you have a go and see how you get on. I do like that idea, but I think in practice it's a bit risky, isn't it? I agree actually with you, Tom, that Niles would be an excellent fit, a good culture fit for Leeds. Yeah, I think he would. I think maybe it's the German thing with Fark as well, and we've been used to him for 3 years now. So maybe that's coming to a lot of the thinking there. But Nagelsmann, I don't think he'd drop us. Wasn't he? He was at Bayern Munich, one of the German national team. Obviously, didn't go well, but he's still a quality coach. And personally, I think that we would need to do a lot more first to get Nagelsmann in. But again, you don't know that. Again, there's what's his name, Ronald Koeman, who got sacked by Holland, didn't he, after their poor showing as well at the World Cup. So that's what I mean. There's odd managers floating about here and there. And I tell you who I really always like the sound of as well is Jurgen Lowe. who hasn't managed for ages. Jurgen Löw, who hasn't managed for ages, but I always think, you know what, actually, he might do all right. Again, one of these lot of left field kind of, wow, we haven't seen him for years, but now he's got a good, culture and a good ideology about him. He's bringing some good ideas and some good football. Yeah, I'd like that kind of thing maybe, but whether that happens, I'm who knows. For someone like Nagelsmann to walk in through 49ers would have promised to spend big on play. Exactly, and that's a real thing, isn't it? If you look at the manager, wow, he's coming in, we're going in the right direction. And that's exactly what you want. And I think, having said all these names, I've spat out a few there, quite a few. And for me personally, we talk about young players and young coaches coming into the first managers' positions, or whatever. For me personally, after Fart goes, I think they're giving. I wouldn't say, because his contract runs out at the end of next year, doesn't it? At the end of this season coming. So I think if he, once he is, I don't think he'll be offered a new contract. I think that if he does a good job, then fine. But I think he'll have come to the end of his tenure basically. If he does a bad job, I think that's easy for the 49ers to say thanks a lot, but you're gone. I believe that the 49ers will pick up a big name. Maybe at that stage it could be Nagelsmann. I think Arne Slot has done work to deserve that accolade of a big name as well, a Premier League winner. So I believe they'll want somebody of a higher stock. Like I said, it could be Nagelsmann. It could be a player, a manager that has been for years not done much, but have a good sort of is well thought of in the game, like Bielsa, for example. That just comes to shake it all up, and yeah, because you could go either way, couldn't you? Say, hey, right, we're going to do a young manager, or we're just going to do a tried and tested, really knows what he's doing kind of manager. That to me is what Leeds will go with after they've got Fark. You say on Pep, Tom, this is a bit controversial, but I personally don't rate him as highly as most. I know he's won plenty of trophies, but does that mean he is a good manager, or is he more of a skilled frontman? I think he is. I think he's. What I think with Pep is he's a good man manager, isn't he? I believe. I think he's a good man manager, and you said up it in relation to Michael. I'm half joking about Pep. You never know, but I doubt he would see Leeds attack. I don't think that would ever happen, Tom. But I know you're joking, pal. But I agree. I do agree with you, Tom. That is where you say. I think Pep's a good front man. I think he's a good face of the whole operation. He's very calm. Again, he's very jovial. Obviously, him and Fark apparently are good pals, aren't they? And you can probably see that from what you can see of the personality types. Quite calm, like I said, quite jovial. They're always in control of their emotional states, even if that is anger, for example. Fark never seems to lose it so much. He always does seem in control of his emotions, really. And yeah, so yeah, but for me, he's lost a bit of his magic. I know he's won a load of trophies, but always where he's been, mate, the teams have been absolutely ludicrous, to be honest. Full of top quality players. So obviously there's top quality players, and then there's good managing. It's a bit of a mixture of every single one of them things in all of Pep Guardiola's managerial situations, I think. what helps 49ers with manager selection is that Red Bull have Klopp on board in corporate. Well, they don't anymore, do they? I mean, he's gone to the German national side. So, I mean, that'll be fun, won't it? For, I mean, like, maybe Anton will get a look in. I don't know, but I like that. I like that appointment. I think that's pretty cool. And but I think again with the transfers, I think Leeds do need to take a look at the make good of the Red Bull connection. I know it's not massive. I know the 49ers own the majority of the club, but Red Bull have some kind of meat in the conversation, and I think they should make better of the transfers when using the Red Bull teams. RB Leipzig, probably the best. Red Bull, New York Red Bulls. Um, obviously RB Salzburg, maybe not, but there are obviously some gem players in there, and then you've got RB Bragantino, of course, in Brazil, who have some good players as well. And I think Leeds probably do need to tap into that a little bit more, really. It's yeah, he did leave, mate. Yeah, he's the German national team manager now. It's like any professional field. You get some who are more about presentation than substance, and they get to the top. Nothing wrong with it. But the thing about Pep is he has, and that's it. It's obviously because he deserves those resources, and he deserves to have, to get manager positions at teams that are well endowed in that respect. I mean, I remember going to watch Bayern Munich in Munich, and Leeds were Leeds. They had a plethora of absolutely wonderful players, absolutely fabulous players on, and obviously that was his team. And the team that they have, is undoubtedly every single time full of so much talent. Oh, I'm getting tired now. 2 nearly, but there you go. 15 minutes left. Chadwick and Pickles are on. But yeah, there it is. Yeah, surprised they haven't scored. They haven't really done much, mate, to be fair. Sort of petering out the game. It's been a bit poor, hasn't it, really? Yeah, well, look how well those lads did, mate. I mean, Vober, thank goodness he's off the books, and obviously Rasmus a little while ago now, but he barely did much, did he, in that relegation team. Sadly, you thought I thought we'd do all right, Yeah, after we'd stayed up that season, and you're looking at players like Rasmus Christensen saying, "Oh yeah, he's an upgrade on Ayling," which he probably was, but not much past that really. Take your point, Pep. You're right, but wouldn't a good manager look for challenges? Appreciate the managing a top team, and marshalling resources is also a challenge, but very exactly. It's two different things, Tom. In it really, I think there's definite skill in managing top players, and still there is skill there, even though top players will just do what they want to do and do the magic on the pitch, regardless of what the manager says to them. But I think it's all about managing egos and managing people then. And that speaks to his people skills and the way that he manages and make sure that the environment is right for these lads to go and express themselves on a daily basis and then perform on the weekend as they should. So it's still a very, very important position he has, and you can't just allow them to go, right, go on, do your thing on the pitch. You're still going to manage those egos and manage those abilities and the people themselves. And I get the impression that he's very good at that. and he can almost just say, "Hey lads, just go out and do your thing, but if you need anything, just let us know and I'll sort you out." And he's there; he's always there. I imagine he's a very good, person to play for. Absolutely. But he has also. You think, well, why don't you take on a bit more of bit more of a challenge, because you've always had those resources. Barca, Bayern Munich, Man City, all the way through his career, managerially, he's had those resources to build teams. But like I said, you've still got to build it and win it. And he's done that in abundance. Obviously, at Man City, obviously he's gone now. I think it's good for the league that he's gone, because it just opens it up a little bit. I know Arteta trumped him last season, but I don't think City are going to have it all their own way over the next sort of 5 to 10 years potentially. I mean, Guardiola was again a fabulous talent, um, and yeah, one which I don't think Man City will. I just don't see them finding finding better than that. Keep going down the route of assistant. Like I said, I like the fact of going down assistants. They have the same way of playing and stuff like that. But you know, ultimately, it's not him. It's not Pep. It's not, they'll play a certain way, but they won't play all the way like him. And again, you speak about up and coming managers, and from a purely kind of sentimental point of view, you would kind of like to see, Pablo, or eventually make his way up to Leeds United, because he's done so well with Castillon, and the fact that they're touching on La Liga last season was unbelievable. So maybe if he can get a few more years under his belt, see what happens, and play in the way that Leeds, since Marcelo, want to play. Do you have thoughts on Eddie Howe's performance at Newcastle? Why do you think the owners have kept him on? Yeah, I mean, my brother's a Newcastle fan. My older brother is a Newcastle fan. He always has been, obviously. And I think at one point last season he was extremely frustrated with how Newcastle were doing and why Eddie Howe was still in the job. I think he's still there, Tom, because I think I think there's genuine good relationships being built there, that I think it's a little bit of sentimental stuff he's got credit in the bank almost, where he's taken them to the Champions League, I think twice now. And I don't know, the money seems to have run dry. They're taking a little bit of a different approach this season, where they seem to be buying a lot of younger players in for quite hefty fees. I know a lad came in from Monaco, didn't he, the other day? Who was it, yesterday, or I don't know, a couple of days ago? And you think, okay, but seems to have taken a different approach. Younger players, and maybe it'll work, because they looked dry, didn't they, when they came to Ellen Road early season, and then obviously there was a humdinger of a match at St James's, which we should have won, really. But I just think that, again, he's hit a wall, and for some reason, well, I think it's because, again, they like him. They like him, and I think that does speak a lot. If you like somebody, you're less likely to sack them, aren't you? Really, if you enjoy working with them, and there's no obvious issue, then I think you're probably likely to say, "Hey, hang on a minute, come on then, Eddie, keep going. You're doing no wrong, and just keep going. But I think he does definitely. My brother, that is, he does. I think want to change. Um, Probably if it don't go right this season, I think they'll probably change it up, won't they? But yeah, I think the goalkeeping position's a bit of a stickler. I know they bought in a lad from Rem, didn't they? But or Remis. Obviously, they weren't in for Trafford, but I think they're probably going to need to buy another number one. I don't think he's overjoyed with the fact of going into the season with Nick Pope. So yeah, going to have to buy a goalkeeper before the season starts. This conversation is more interesting than the match says. It is, mate. I haven't even mentioned the match once, or I probably mentioned it, described it maybe once or twice in the whole two plus hours I've been on here. And it's really good of you guys and obviously Tom and Michael's dipping in and out for you to come on and chat with me, because otherwise I would be trying to describe this game, and it is very, very poor. It's very late in the morning now, in the middle of the night, early hours of the morning. So I am starting to get tired as the game obviously goes to its conclusion. It has been poor. The second half's been like a training game. The tempo has been really lacking, and the quality has been very lackluster. Um, but the thing with Newcastle is they're going to score again here. It is as well. Wrexham, yeah, 3-2. I mean, that was a good goal. But again, I don't know how they've scored here again. It's the first shot they've had. Uh, yeah, and I imagine they do get them all in Florida. But I don't, it's the first shot they've had, and they've scored it. And, and it was a good goal, but I just, what you do, yeah, it's just not. Because in my mind, these are like League One players, really. Like, I know he scored against Man U, didn't he, again? But and these aren't proper fans. They're just, yeah, like you said, mate. They're not proper fans. They're just going because of Ryan Reynolds, basically. Yeah, it was a good goal, but again, I don't really think it was. It was definitely avoidable, and again, it's just frustrating because we've ended the game with, we're pretty much the strongest we could have had on the pitch, and we've been down three times here now, and and I don't think now they'll come back. I think they will lose this game, and I said it all along anyway that we would lose this match. It's disappointing, and obviously Wrexham or something, and that they come away with two wins over two Premier League sides there, and yeah, exactly. It's a boring game, but so many goals. It doesn't quite add up, does it? Really, Tom? Because if you look at the shots on target, there's barely been any, has there? And I mean, like I said, Lucas Perry, all he's had to do is pick the ball out the goal. That's all he's had to do. That was their first shot in the second half. I don't know whether we've had one. I think we might have had one off target, but it's just been really poor, and it's 2:30 in the morning. Like, it's just a bit annoying for me, really. You just think, well, what the hell was that? They stayed up till nearly 3 o'clock. They're just kicking the ball about. They're not doing anything with it. And there's no tempo to it, is there? And I don't even know how he got up the pitch to score that goal. I don't think I was really watching it too hard when I just sort of saw it sort of going. I just knew he was going to score. They haven't seemed to have missed chances, have they? And that's just the way it goes, I suppose, sometimes. But, it is a bit frustrating because, like I said, I know it's a friendly and all that, but it's like a training game. It is. It's an awful tempo. I know, I bet it's hot though there, but still, you've got to play the conditions, and they've obviously not done it very well here. There's not a great deal we can kind of recollect, like, really, should have done a bit better from the off. Obviously, was one down before we could even get going, and then I think it highlights the fact that the goalkeeper situation really does need a change, and obviously it will. But they can't have had much more than 3 shots. I know they hit the bar. I think we always play badly in pre-season. We do, yeah. I don't even remember last pre-season, to be honest. But yeah, it probably wasn't very good. But it's just frustrating. Like, like I said, I know it doesn't mean a great deal, but it's not great to lose games, and you need to create a kind of a positive mentality. And if you're losing games, it doesn't really, no matter if it's an under-18 game with youth players playing or whatever, you're still, like the first team lads here, obviously on the pitch, but they're not really doing much, and it's very much like a training match, and they're not arsed, they're just, but again, it speaks to something, doesn't it, that you're losing games of football against, teams below you in the football pyramid. It was a mistake, I think, there by Tanaka, and then suddenly he was through. And yeah, it were an all right bit of play, but it was no special. And you think as Premier League defenders should probably do a little bit better than that, really. I mean, made a couple more changes. Charlie Crew and a lad called Lane are on for Crew's on for Ampadu. I mean, it's almost over, Tom, but again, I don't like obviously nobody wants, to watch your team lose, do they? But, it, even in a pre-season friendly, it's disappointing to see. I don't think the fallout's going to be very positive at all from this game. And yeah, again, it's hard to know what's going to happen, and nobody remembers pre-season friendly games, do they? In the grand scheme of it, but as a start. It's not been good. That's just it. It doesn't have a bearing on anything really. And they almost got the equaliser there. I don't, the goalie made a real mess of that. Yeah, they almost. He kicked it the wrong way, I think, Bogle. Looked like he kicked it the wrong way. But yeah, Sunderland on Friday, then Liverpool on Sunday, I think, next Sunday. Yeah, that's it. So a 3-2 loss in the end. Thing is, what is funny about this, I think it looked like Bogle kicked it the wrong way on the goal line, but I wasn't completely sure. Funny thing about this is that Wrexham fans will start to think that they've got something going. So that's kind of funny, really, because again, pre-season, I suppose if you're doing well in pre-season, you start to think, oh, we're going to whatever. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, it's a bit of a messy game, that, and yeah, hopefully Wrexham won't go up or anything. But there you go. But anyway, I'm absolutely knackered now. Thank you, Tom, for, I suppose, sticking with me right to the end of the, into the early hours. I know it's Leeds, and obviously, in the end, I was probably always going to stay up and watch it. So yeah, thank you for joining us, and I shall bid you good night. Of course, Tom, yeah, thank you, like I said, for sticking with me. Again, a bit frustrated that we lost it, but it is what it is there. It doesn't really matter in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, fair enough. Anyway, thanks a lot, mate, and everybody else that's joined in. Michael and everybody else. Carl as well. So, thanks a lot, lads. Cheers, Michael. Yeah, apologies if obviously it's too happens to. I don't need to apologise. It's going on 3 in the morning. Obviously, I'm feeling quite tired. The game was poor. Obviously, Leeds lost. It doesn't really matter the friendly result, but yeah, it wasn't the most entertaining game. And yeah, but we've stayed up for it and we did it. So there you go. Thanks a lot, lads. I'll see you on the next one.